Okay, so I want to use the curvature tool to make a mouth using a stroke. I may change it to a shape so I can do a little more with it, but let's take a look at making a smile. So again, I'm going to use a new layer, so F7 to bring up my layers right over here. And I've got my eyebrows here. Now I'm going to want a mouth. So I'm going to call this one the mouth layer, and I'm going to use a really thick stroke. Make sure you're on that layer. You can see I'm still got that eyebrow selected. So now I'm on the mouth layer, and I can pick a really big stroke and take the black line, and I'm just going to go across like that. If you hold down shift, it'll be a perfectly straight line. Doesn't have to be. Perfection in this kind of work is actually, I think, detrimental. You want some of that hand-drawn look in there. So any mistakes you make, try to keep them. So this is the curvature tool right here, and that's how I'm going to turn this into a smile. Now, there are arc tools and all sorts of other ways of doing that, but I like this one for a couple reasons. I'm just clicking and I'm dragging on that smile right there, and I can bring it over to the side a little bit if I want to smirk, or I could do like a wry smile there. So just gonna do a big old goofy smile for right now. Now you get this line and it still thinks that it wants to continue drawing like it's a pen, but if you're on the anchor point, you can actually click and then get a little bit of extra curve to it, or just decide what else you want. Of course, when you don't like it, go crazy. Then Control Z undo, you know you went back to where you were before. So I'm going to go back to my main selection tool and increase this stroke even more, because that's a pretty thin smile there. So there we go, nice big smile. Well, that profile, the width profile, could certainly stand a little bit of work. With a smile, it's pretty like, there you go. You got smiles with the corners of the mouth. And we could do a little bit thicker than that even. Just hold it down and make it as big as you want. And then you've got a smile. Colors for these, like, I'm not sure how far we want to go on trying to get different colors, but right now this could be the basis, and you could have teeth sticking out, and you could then add a tongue on top of that. So lots of different possibilities, but having that stroke can be turned into an actual shape if that's what you decide you want to do. A lot of times when I do that, I'll duplicate this. So instead of doing the entire mouth, I'll take this path and say, okay, give me another one of those, and I'm going to scale it down. So Shift and Alt. It's going to go to the center, and then that could be like a smaller version of it. Let me bring this stroke weight down to 100, and then this could be inside of it. So that would mean modifying this quite a bit. So I'm going to lock the bottom mouth and change my stroke here to white so you can see what's happening. So once again, oops, I'm going to go to my direct select tool this time, just so I can click and let go, and then click and grab, and then you can move it where you want it to go. So I always end up doing a little bit of this right here. This is a little bit thick still, so I need to get to that stroke there. So there's a couple ways of getting there. You got a panel here that will bring up some of that information. Right now it's just the weight. So even though I can't see it up here, you have a panel specifically for strokes. So you can say, well, let's go with something a lot smaller. So I've got a little bit of room there.